Welcome to the Association of Washington School Principals Studio. My name is Roz Thompson, and I'm the Director of Government Relations and Advocacy. I am here with some of my best friends in the government relations biz, and we're here to talk about the School Funding Coalition document. You've all received this via email as well as some additional talking points, but we wanted to use this opportunity to explain a little bit more about the content. So let's start with some introductions. Marissa.
Thanks, Roz. Hi, everyone. My name is Marissa Rathbone, and I'm the Director of Strategic Advocacy with the Washington State School Directors Association.
I'm Melissa Gomboski with the Association of Educational Service Districts.
And Dan.
Thanks, Roz. I'm Dan Steele with the Director of Government Relations for the Washington Association of School Administrators. And I also work for the School Business Officials, WASBO, and the School Personnel Association, WASPA. Want to talk a little bit about the history of this coalition. Starting out in 2014, after the Supreme Court's McCleary decision was issued, WASA and WASBO created what we called the Local Funding Work Group to fight for appropriate updates to Washington's education finance system. A few years later, additional education associations were added to the work group to expand our influence. And then when the court case was closed in 2018, however, the work group went dormant. So last fall, WASA and WASBO again joined together to reconstitute the work group to build a coalition of education management associations to speak with one voice specifically to protect education funding. The new School Funding Coalition, comprised of WASA, WASBO, AWSP, WASDA, WASPA, AESD, and AEA, represent almost 8,000 education leaders in all 295 school districts. The coalition developed a short list of agreed upon priorities along with some talking points to assist you in advocating for those priorities. We now stand ready for the expected budget battle in the coming session, and we hope you will join us. I'm going to turn it back to Roz for some additional information.
Thanks, Dan. So this document has 4 main points. And as we talked about this, we really designed it with thinking about Maslow's hierarchy of needs and the immediate needs of students in our schools. So the first concept is stable support. And by that, in part, we mean keeping school funding whole so that there are no mid-year budget reductions. Second is safety. And by that, we mean making sure that our schools and our buses are safe for staff and students, and also safety for students, so they really get some key social emotional learning as they're back in buildings and as they start the school year. Third is access to learning. And access to learning is ensuring that there's an equitable supply of devices and broadband connectivity, as well as any other unique individual student needs that might be out there. And the last one is a well-equipped staff. We want to make sure that our teachers have adequate training in racial literacy, cultural competence, and really how to effectively teach online learning. For a few additional talking points about this, let's go to Marissa.
Thanks so much, Roz. Appreciate you outlining our priorities for us. To support all of you and your advocacy efforts, the coalition has also created talking points for the priorities. The talking points included in that priorities document that you received provide key messages that will reinforce each priority and gives additional context provided for a deeper dive into their background. We highly encourage you to use the talking points to inform your communication with legislators. While our coalition will support each issue and will strive to successfully advance each priority, we suggest that you focus on 2 or 3 specific priorities with your legislators that reflect your community and school values and needs. Written messages should be short and concise, and in-person phone or virtual meetings should be very, very focused. We encourage you to have multiple interactions with your state policymakers. Therefore, you have opportunities to follow up and provide more information once you've had an initial conversation so that your most important asks are delivered first. Lastly, we encourage you to tell your own stories in order to illuminate your district's challenges. For example, if you're concerned about stable funding for pupil transportation, describe the potential personnel impacts or what services you might have to eliminate. Make the words real and use district data to support your position. With that, I'll pass it to Melissa to tell you how to do it right. Melissa.
Thanks, Marissa. All right, so you have the coalition priorities, you have your talking points. So what's next? What's next is make an appointment with your local lawmaker. You can do that by sitting down for a cup of coffee or via Zoom. Keep your group small. Maybe it's just you and the lawmaker to help you develop that one-on-one relationship. Like Marissa said, be prepared with 1 or 2 simple messages, requests, or concern. Make sure you're really simple. Don't overwhelm with detail. Avoid acronyms or any inside education sort of speak. Remember, these are citizen legislators. Be really clear about your ask. So if the example that you've chosen is stable funding and the transportation formula fix, at the end of that conversation, make the ask. Ask your lawmaker, will you please support a transportation hold harmless? Or will you please vote yes on a bill that changes the statute so we can keep our transportation system whole? And a couple other things to remember. Be really prepared. It's okay to have a couple notes or bullet points. Be exceptionally respectful of the office. The culture at Olympia is a little bit different. It's a little more formal. I've noticed that lawmakers refer to each other by their title, a representative or senator. So I've adopted that myself, and I always just refer to them by their title rather than their first name. Make sure that you adhere to facts. So don't round up or use any kind of hyperbole. We want to make sure that we're very credible with the information that we present. And then finally, offer to be a resource to that citizen legislator. You are the person that has the education policy expertise. So offer your cell phone if that legislator needs to check information or find out what that specific topic means for your district. And with that, good luck. Thanks for being part of our coalition.
Thanks, everyone. Thanks for watching the video. And if you have any questions, our contact information appears after this is over. Thanks.